the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast with Alex Trataros, John Meleka, and Raisi on the beat. Let's go.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And with me, it's always my buddy, my cousin, pal, the man with the plan, the one and only, John Meleka. And as always, because he's embedded in this podcast like an SEO, like a slug, video producer Greg. We're all here today. But before we ask everyone how they're doing, you all know the drill. If you listen to this podcast and you haven't already done so, please make sure to subscribe. We're on all audio listening platforms. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. If you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to give us a 5-star rating. And if you listen to us on Apple, please make sure to leave a review or comment. You can also find this podcast on the Jet Press or the Daily Knicks, which is partnered with Fansided and Minute Media. We also got a YouTube channel, Knicks coming, Jets coming, ETC period, no one writes out, etc. That shit's wild. Find the page, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you know when a new episode drops. And when you watch a video, hit the like button, leave a comment, add to the conversation. We want to know your thoughts and opinions on Jets training camp. What are your thoughts about this upcoming season? Come on, everyone. We all know you got some thoughts and opinions on the New York Jets. We all know you're as hyped as we are. All right. If I'm hyped, you should be hyped. Let me tell you that right now. And we got another podcast, Winning Picks Weekly, also sponsored or partnered with Minute Media, I should say. John, video producer Greg, and our guy and co-host Chip Murphy. These guys go through every sport possible. They give you their takes on where to place your money if you like sports gambling. And then last and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We are there. John, Greg, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing today?
I'm good, man. You know, it was the MLB trade deadline day, so it was stressful all the way up to, leading up to recording this pod. We got, little mini moves here for the Yankees and the Mets, but the rivals are making moves, which is pretty, I think, scarier, honestly, from our perspective. So that was fun. We got good vibes going out in Jets training camp. And then, honestly, dude, the news of the day is it's just the worst man on the planet. His name is Tom Brady, the biggest con man there ever was. He belongs in prison, dude. It's unbelievable. Dude, if I'm a Miami Dolphins fan today, I am losing my mind. I can't believe it. So, right now, good vibes.
I don't know. I find it pretty entertaining. I like it. So, I like this chaos. Yeah, this is good chaos. It doesn't involve the New York Jets, man.
It's good. I mean, from our side, just, being selfish Jets fans, because I don't even know. You talk about dumpster fires. Like, I don't know who's the bigger dumpster fire. The Patriots, where they're starting franchise quarterback that they call the GOAT and they worship the ground that he walks on, is literally negotiating deals with a division rival in training camp. Like, I don't know if that's the dumpster fire or the dumpster fire on the other side, where they got caught tanking games, but not really tanking games, but tanking games for sure, and also tampering. Like, it's also wild, man. So, in terms of the Jets, training camp's been fantastic. No injuries, knock on wood, knock on my head, knock on everything you could possibly find. So I'm chilling, man. I'm feeling great about over 5.5. I'll tell you that much.
Greg, how about yourself, man?
I'm doing good, and I agree with John. I still can't believe we're at 5.5. The juice is moving on a little bit because I think people are betting it because it's just, every day we're getting a little bit better. We got some more people practicing today. The team's coming together. Love what you're seeing out of camp, so I'm doing good. If the Jets are doing good, I'm doing good. So happy about that. Happy about the MLB trade deadline. We're in full swing now, MLB mode. Everyone's getting ready for the playoffs. So just been enjoying that. How about you, Alex? How's everything going?
Look, man, I'm enjoying it. We're getting ready. We're gearing up for football season. It's now August. I don't have to say football's around the corner. Football is now officially here. Okay, this is
Let's go.
the
Football's
month where
back.
now that the month is here, where you get preseason football. I can officially say football is back. Jets are around the corner. We're reading all these articles. We're getting the New York Jets are practicing well. You're reading about Zach Wilson, showing improvements as a quarterback. You're seeing that we have a healthy roster, as you guys have already talked about. Knock on wood, all over the place. Look, and you see the rest of the league, guys are like falling down like flies, like due to injuries. And it's not that you're happy to see or anything like that, but when you start seeing these things as a fan, you got to be like, we may have a chance. We may have a chance. And when you guys talk about the 5.5, you're like, okay, guys are going down. Everyone is healthy and reporting to practice now. It's nothing but good vibes, not only on this podcast, but over on the practice field. How can you not take that over on the 5.5? I mean, Massachusetts just was late to the party in passing sports gambling, especially on mobile. So I'll be missing this season. Otherwise, we'd be joining you guys and taking that 5.5 at this point. But I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good about how the New York Jets are doing at camp. But can we just start off with this topic about because they quoted Robert Saleh talking about those guardian caps for the helmets, and I want to know your thoughts and opinions because as someone who's played football, not saying I play at a high level, just playing like high school football, I can understand where he's coming from. If you're using that, you get some extra padding, it's heavier on you, and you're not doing the proper drill. I mean, these guys don't go full on like tackle anymore like they used to prior to the 2011 CBA, right? So with Robert Saleh's concerns about that, I totally understand that, especially if you're like, how much contact we're doing to begin with anyway. Like, and even still, like, you're still going 100 miles per hour in the game, which is usually where these, injuries happen. What do you think about these Guardian helmets, man? Do they look funky to you? Do you like them? Do you think they're needed? Do you think it's just the NFL pandering to everybody?
I don't know so much. I mean, maybe it's pandering a little bit. I think they're just trying something. Yeah, they look funky. Yeah, they're different. There's something new. I don't know if it's all preseason we're wearing them or if it's just kind of the training camp portion, the early parts of training camp portion before we start making cuts. Not exactly sure what the schedule is for them, but I just think they're trying something here. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I get that, Coach Saleh is concerned about the players getting a little too used to it, then going into games and not having it, so it can be a little different. So to me, that makes sense. I mean, all these guys practice so much like it's the game, to be prepared for the game, to just completely throw a variable in there. I think that's a little bit unfair to the players. But if you're trying to protect them, you're trying to do something good, I'm all for it. I don't think it's going to make its way into the game full time, but in practices, maybe moving forward, if it works and people are healthy, I think a lot of it too that I saw early on was for linemen, because the linemen are just banging heads all day long, rep after rep after rep. So, if it just protects those guys a little bit more, I'm all for it. Is it going to work? I don't know about that, but we'll see.
So then, John, what do you think about these?
I don't think it'll ever make it into the game, especially because the NFL likes to sell their helmets, right? Like, look at this year, everything, goes from the helmets. The jerseys really come from there. So I don't think it'll ever really make it into the game, but this is brownie points for the NFL to say, hey, look, we care. We care so much about concussions. We care so much about CTE. We've learned from the last lawsuit. Please don't sue us again. We're trying really hard. And, here's some big foam black helmets, for practice. So at least we'll protect you there. I mean, I don't know if it actually does anything. I think head coaches in general, Alex, don't like change. So regardless of what the change is, they're going to be annoyed about it. So, if it does protect even one person one time, then, amazing. You save the concussion for practice where, there's really no need for one. But I don't know. You seem to have a strong feeling about these helmets, man. You have strong feelings?
I just agree with Coach Saleh, where if you're getting used to these, like they always teach you to keep your face mask up and put it on the side of the ball so you can try to force a fumble. And they want you to face like how you're facing, like I'm facing the camera right now, right? If you start putting your head down and you start trying to lead with your head, that's like the softest part of your head. So you're inadvertently teaching players that it's okay to tackle with your head down, which is no, and it also hurts your neck too. Like you're exposing your neck too to severe damage. So I don't know, man. Why start reading stuff like that? And if players are getting too comfortable, like I said, they're not practicing form tackling like they used to prior to 2011. I would try to keep. I don't know. There's just something where it's like you try to keep the form and try to like make sure that you reinforce good habits.
You make a great point because like think about cornerbacks and linebackers having to twist their neck back and look at Zach Wilson throwing 80-yard bombs. Like that can't be good. That can't be good for your neck, man.
Can't be good for your neck. But that's a good point. Talking about a guy who's been looking pretty good that we talked about at the top of this pod, Zach Wilson, man, coming out here, showing he's got that dog in him in more ways than one.
Yo, speaking of, did you see that kid? Because it was open to the public today. Some kid went to training camp with a jersey that said MILF Hunter, and every not every single, but some of the Jets fan favorite players all came and signed, like Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, TJ Uzomah. Like everybody came over. Sauce Gardner, they all came over specifically just to sign that jersey.
Yeah, if the Jets make the playoffs this year, and this is like the way that you start off the season with Zach Wilson just getting this much street cred off of this rumor
that we don't know if it's true or not.
We don't know. And
that's what I'm saying.
It's amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. The Jets would be looked at like in such a different fashion.
One Instagram comment.
Fact. That's all it takes, man.
Literally, dude. It's crazy. Yo, dude, Greg, you watched that CJ Uzomah interview, right? Busting with the boys.
Yeah,
He's talking about he's comparing Zach Wilson to Joe Burrow, and not in a crazy way. He's like trying to step back as much as he possibly could.
Yeah,
but he's talking about the vibes about the Bengals, comparing them to the Jets. They were just in the Super Bowl, bro. How wild is that?
It was pretty insane. It was also pretty insane to hear him talk about just how Joe isn't very demanding, he's very laid back. I mean, he's Joe Cool. We all know that on the field and stuff, but he said he's like that off the field.
Joe Breezy.
Too. Yeah, he's just chilling. He does his thing. And I kind of, Zach Wilson, I think a lot of guys were talking about, he's kind of small. He looks young. He might not be able to command an NFL team and stuff like that. I think the world's changing. I don't think you need to be this boisterous, rah-rah guy to lead your team. I think you lead your team through action. So if Zach Wilson plays well, if the rumors stay good about him and stuff like that, we don't get any mono or any hot dog eating going on from Zach Wilson. Everything stays.
He's thick, boy.
Yeah. Everything stays
or game punched in the face for not paying $500.
By a teammate. Yeah. If we avoid all that stuff and he plays well on the field, I think Zach Wilson's got a lot of just Joe Cool in him as well.
Doesn't take pictures of his genitals. Doesn't get rotator cuff surgery.
Yeah.
The
crazy part is too
doesn't have to come back out of retirement.
The list we're going off of isn't all the bad things that have happened with Jets quarterbacks. They're just every Jets quarterback in a row while we've been alive. It's not like we're picking and choosing. It's just something that's happened with every single quarterback. So
it's funny that we have that many things that we can reference for all these Jets quarterbacks.
Yeah, so he's just got to avoid the bad stuff. The good stuff that's been happening with Instagram comment and all the rumors and stuff is great, but he's got to avoid the bad stuff on and off the field. So looks like
he avoided it. He avoided it last year. With this type of stuff, and to add on to what CJ Uzomah said, I think each leader is different. And each team is built differently, right? So you don't necessarily need that guy who's going to rah-rah everybody. So if Zach Wilson fits the DNA of this team of what they need as a leader, then so be it. Doesn't need to be Peyton Manning going in there and orchestrating some crazy play. Doesn't need to be Tom Brady who just screams in your face and just you don't get
up
a
and down the
high
sideline. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh.
You don't have to be Philip Rivers clapping your hands.
Yep.
Trying to get everyone to the line. Yeah. we're in those cowboy ties.
Yeah.
the bolos.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's done the, at least from according to our main man Rich Cimini and ESPN has been covering the Jets as the New York Titans. Decided to write a whole piece about. I don't even want to read the headline because it's so ridiculous. But Zach Wilson.
I think you got to read the headline for our listeners who don't even know. Just do it.
This is the headline from the Jets Insider for ESPN. Inside the Jets' wild Idaho escape. S'mores, slides, Justin Bieber, Wayne Gretzky, and football. Like, what are we doing here? It's very odd, but talking about leadership off the field, I mean, of course we expect, the rookies, right? Like Garrett Wilson to come, Jeff Smith, people trying to make the team, Wesco, who just re-signed, but he's trying to stay on the squad. Like, we expect those guys. But there's no reason for Joe Flacco, right? Or Braxton Berrios, who just got paid, CJ Uzomah. Like, there's no reason for those guys to go there. Even Elijah Moore, Michael Carter. Like, I don't know if my Carter was there. But, I mean, that's leadership, man. People who want to hang out with you in the offseason for no reason, just to be better at work. Like, that you have some type of influence and you guys are actually trying to win. I remember Sam Darnold would go to like the West Coast, whoever would show up to be like one or two wide receivers. Like, like Robbie Anderson would show up or something, be like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Like, so this is pretty cool, man. I really do believe in the Jets, and I don't think it's just propaganda right now. I mean, I know it's still, 7-on-7s, and we're practicing with big mushroom helmets on. You know what I mean? It's not real at all, right? I totally get it. Hall of Fame game's coming Thursday, but no one's even going to play in it. I understand. It's still early. But, man, things are starting to shape up. You said that George Font finally got his first rep today.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad because Zach Wilson complained that Carl Lawson has been living in the backfield. So we need to start shaping things up there. But, man, I'm really excited about the shape of this team, dude. I know I'm jumping a little ahead here.
John, real quick before we move on, though, can I just finish up on the CJ Uzomah interview? Because there's two other things that I took away from that.
I just want to point out, because for Saleh and stuff, because Quan Alexander being on this team just changes everything, man.
Yeah.
He literally, that that the team, like, he's rooting for the coach, and that they're on a 1-year deal, and they mean business, man.
Yeah, I want to dive into his defense, but real quick, CJ, two last things. He's living by Zach Wilson. I don't know if it's the same complex or whatever, and he said the houses are set up the same. So in Zach Wilson's basement is like a film room. So they all watch film together and stuff. Then they go to his place.
You're telling me the Jets didn't have to put a clause in Zach Wilson's contract to watch film?
No, and he has the boys over. The boys come over, they watch film, then they go to CJ's place, which is down the hall or the next building over, and he's got a full bar in his basement.
Yeah, so that's what they're chilling.
Yeah, then they just chill and relax and chop it up about whatever they're chopping up about. So I love that. I mean, that's the type of stuff for CJ that it's like ingratiates yourself with the team right away. He's a veteran. He's a team guy. We all know that. But for him to be here is a huge, huge thing for Zach Wilson's development, not only on the field but off the field. And two, he talked about the facilities because, one of the guys that was interviewing whatever asked about Will Compton asked, like, Cincinnati facilities, they stink. He's like, I've been there for a while. Everyone kind of ragged on him in the beginning of my tenure there. They've gotten a lot better. But when he came to New York, he's like, the facilities at the Jets are another level. He's like, if you have a certain, like, he's like, who do I go, what chef do I reach out to for meal planning and meal prepping? I'm like, I don't know, just talk to, like, one of the team guys. Like, they'll hook you up with whatever you need. What do I do about this? Like, who's a good, person in the area for this? Like, I don't know, the team has it. Like, we just have it set up for these guys, it seems like, compared to other things. And they actually talked about how, like, the NFLPA should, like, grade or rate or something like that, like these facilities for these players, because it's a huge decision-making part of their decision-making when it comes to what teams they want to play with, is the food, the weight room, everything, the whole facility and everything. So it was great to hear both those things in that interview. I was very happy about that. Very happy about what he brings to the team. I
wonder, though, like, if you start grading, I know we're going on a side tangent here as KJE fashion.
Yeah.
If you start grading these facilities through NFL standards, like, yes, it's very important for the players, right? Like, you want to make sure you're getting the right diet in. You want to make sure that physically you're taken care of because this is your career. You want to make sure your body's in like the best primo shape possible. But do you think that'd be obviously that would be, I feel like that would be partially an advantage to the Jets. I don't know how much of an advantage because you still have to have a good organization. Like, you could have the nicest facilities ever. If like you go over there and you hate everyone who you're working with, I don't care how nice the facilities are, don't want to be there. So do you think that would be like an edge for like teams that they start rating? And it's like teams who have been known to be like in the dumps, they start revamping their facilities. Like maybe if the Detroit Lions got like top of the line, facility, does Detroit now attract like some of the top free agents? Do you think it'll go in that direction? What do you guys think?
I think it's like how they evaluate players when it comes to drafting. It's like, to me, it's like a tiebreaker. It's like, yeah, I want to go to the Jets, but I also might want to go to, the Carolina Panthers. But, the taxes might be lower in Carolina, but the facilities are way better at the Jets. So it's kind of weighing those options. I agree with your point, Alex. It's like the opportunity to play at a high level, the opportunity to compete for a championship, I think, are, the biggest factors for a free agent besides the money and the location. But I just think it's just a factor in it. And maybe it's not a grading system. Maybe it's just like a checklist thing. Like, yes, they have that. Yes, they have this. Yes, they have that. So this way, just people know before they get into it, kind of what they're getting into.
What are your thoughts, John?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little subjective, but I mean, everybody already kind of knows, man. None of this stuff is a secret. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows the Cowboys probably have the best facilities. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure SoFi now has stuff to match. I'm sure, Vegas has stuff to match Allegiance, like all the new stadiums. You hear about Indy, right? You hear about even Minnesota. Like, you start to hear about people's facilities and what they have going on. I mean, I think it's really cool that we finally have chemistry inside, and it's finally somebody saying something nice about the New York Jets organization, man. It's nice. It's nice to see, and like I was saying, it's so nice to have someone like Quan Alexander who chose the Jets for the head coach, and he's hyping the team up. Like his career's on the backside. He wants to play for a winner. He came here because he believes in this team. That's unbelievable. The facilities and stuff. Like you said, that's a tiebreaker. You know what I'm saying? Because if we had maybe Cincinnati's facilities, it's like, yeah, it all sounds good, but you know what I'm saying? I need like really good medical facilities because I'm old. You know what I'm trying to say? These games are gonna hurt. So I know everything is good, man. Everything's good in the Jets facilities, and honestly, especially in the scout team, because it looks like our rookies are playing well. Like we Sauce Gardner, he's going against TJ Reed today, which is pretty fun. He's looking good, man. Jermaine Johnson out here, like signing autographs, looking good. Like Sherwood being called the Florham Park Strangler, or a draft pick from last year by Coach Saleh because he has long arms. Man, in terms of the Jets, I'm just really excited if they just stay healthy. Dude, 5.5 seems like the easiest bet on planet Earth. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's good hearing like everybody showing up on the defensive side. I mean, and you talk about Quan Alexander choosing the Jets where he can go compete for, another title contender, go add to the resume, show that he could be an impactful player on a championship winning team, but yet he chose the New York Jets because of the relationships that we got, which is, this is part of like who you hire, right? It's like you bring in someone like Robert Saleh to make sure that you have someone who has those relationships from the prior organization, who has those connections that people respect, because if he can attract those type of people to here, it's just, I remember doing something when I was getting my master's in organizational management, and they always talk about starting something, right? Like they always talk about like when you start like a movement, it's not the first person. Yes, the first person is important, but it's always the second person that joins, because then it starts to be like, oh, well, if they join, I'll go join. Right. And then from there, it's a wave. It's a domino effect. People start joining, especially if it's someone that you trust, you respect. So for this, if you trust and respect Quan Alexander and you see that he's taking a 1-year deal to go play for the New York Jets under Robert Saleh for a team that
DJ
Huh?
Reed. DJ
Yeah.
Reed.
DJ Reed
Laken
too, man. I
Tomlinson.
mean,
it's all
Laken
big,
Tomlinson,
big positions.
CJ
Look-
Uzomah.
Yeah.
Tyler Conklin.
we keep going down the line, but you come over here after you saw what this team did last season, and you saw that our quarterback didn't play well. So you're taking a risk. It's a big risk to come play with a second-year quarterback, right? It's only
Big
positive,
risk.
man. It's only positive. Of course, you need to see the performance on the field, but I like where this team is going as of right now.
Lots of positive vibes.
Lots of positive vibes.
Yeah, and I mean,
everywhere, man. Everywhere. What are you gonna say, Greg?
there's some people being a little negative about the offense, like, oh, there's a lot of sacks for the defense. You know, the defense is playing really well.
Isn't that a good thing that Carl Lawson's back playing like that?
Yeah, and also, too, if you follow football year in and year out, especially the preseason stuff and the offseason stuff, the defense always starts out better. Week 1, chances are the overs and unders are lower. The defenses play better because the offense takes time. You have to have chemistry. You have to have rhythm. There's a lot to process when it comes to the offense, where the defense, you know, you can kind of know what you're doing, know your assignment, and go after it. And you're getting after the ball. You're getting at, you're locking down your defender or your offensive player that you're playing against. So the defense looks strong. And to your point, Alex, I want the defense to look strong. I want the defense to lead this team. I don't want our fate to be put in second-year quarterback Zach Wilson's hands just yet. I want him to play well so it takes some pressure off our defense so we're not the 31st or 32nd ranked defense like we were last year. But I want the defense to lead. I want the defense to be the one that's moving us in the right direction, and it seems like that's the way so far. It's awesome to see so far.
I remember last year, PFF had our offensive line like ranked 11 or so.
Yeah.
And that's without Laken Tomlinson. We shifted everything to the right. Becton's back. Things have completely changed. You know what I mean? It could be for better or for worse. We'll see. I assume it's going to be better. So if it's better than 11, that means it's in the top 10. It better be better. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Also, too, the other thing that's going to help with that, like not to cut you off there, John, Breece Hall. I've been watching videos on him, like scouting stuff. Like, the way he plays, which I know a lot of people say he's slow, he plays kind of like LaDainian Tomlinson, but what he does is when he attacks an assignment, when he attacks a gap, he's very good at keeping his shoulders square to the point of attack, and it gives him every time 3 options. When he makes his jump cut, he can go left, he can shoot up straight, or he can cut back and go right. And it's little things like that I think the Jets really look for, especially in a zone run game that we're going to be running. So it's a beautiful thing to see, hopefully, this coming together. That, to your point a little bit ago, I think Alex said it, we're finally getting our guys in that we need to run these systems well, whether it's Michael Fuller's offense or whether it's Coach Saleh's defense. So very happy. I think Breece Hall is going to help the offensive line out so much because it's not drop balls out of the backfield. It's not 2 or 3 yard runs. He's going to be breaking a 20-yarder. He's going to be going for 15. He's going to be doing his thing. So, and we have Michael Carter, who looked phenomenal last year.
So, yeah, he had a little bit of an ankle injury, which is, I feel like it's okay. So just take it easy. It's not a serious injury. Like we saw, the safety from the Bills go down too. Another guy from Tampa.
Scary, yeah.
Things are scary right now. So I hope that Michael Carter takes it easy. But dude, this Breece Hall, offensive rookie of the year business. I mean, at plus 800, I don't know. I can't take my eyes off it. I think Hall's gonna have a really good season, man.
I just think it's easy for a running back to have a good season. There's not much, like, if you can pass block and you know how to hit the hole, like, I think you're pretty solid. It's not like playing quarterback. It's not playing offensive line where there's so many more reads that you have to make, and unlike wide receiver, where I think it comes down to more of the technical and understanding the timing of the quarterback, which takes a lot longer. Like, you're literally in the backfield. You literally get the ball handed into your chest if it's your play. Like, if you understand pace, how to slow the game down and know where you're looking for, that's why we always see like rookie running backs come out of nowhere. It's like, oh my God, can you believe so-and-so is going off right now? And it's like, yeah, I can, because they were good in college. They came in with like a good, like a legit adult body, and they understand how to play the position. I feel like the running back position is not as shocking as some like to make it out to believe. Not like I feel like Breece Hall is going to be that guy. I think we're having an awesome 1-2 punch.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be awesome watching this Jets team. I can't wait to see the first preseason game and get an idea of where people are at.
We have linebackers, bro.
For something that we shouted about all offseason, and the Jets kept saying, "Oh, we're good," or people around the Jets kept saying, "Oh, we're good at linebacker. We're good." We certainly brought in a few, and we certainly needed it. So
And maybe because they knew, maybe they're doing.
That's
and
true.
We could talk about our next topic. Maybe they know how to tamper better than a certain team because they're like
a certain player.
They're like, "Oh, you guys are leaving. You guys want to come to the Jets? Yeah, we're gonna come to the Jets. We'll take our time. We're just gonna check out the landscape first." And it's like, okay. We ain't going to draft a linebacker like that. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do some other things, but we're gonna sign you guys. We're gonna sign you guys.
That's honestly a fact because if we drafted a linebacker higher, there's no way Quan Alexander would be on this team.
Not at all.
That's a nice little tidbit there. But I'm really excited about CJ Mosley and Quan Alexander. Like I don't think we've grasped that yet, but that's unbelievable.
4 years ago, that's like the best linebacking core in football.
And then, if they have stuff in the tank, CJ Mosley took 2 years off since that that 4 years ago they were talking about. Last year he looked okay. I mean, if he has Quan Alexander next to him, like somebody who could like kind of encourage him and not somebody else. I won't shame anyone.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that there's two all pros next to each other there. And then Sherwood, like I said, getting nicknames from the head coach. He did really well before he got injured. I wonder if Hamza is going to be back too. They feel like they got injured at the same exact time, or maybe like 2 or 3 weeks apart. So I'm excited about that too. The depth is crazy. Whew! I'm hyped about this Jets team, man. I don't know what else to say. Every single day that goes by, like playoffs look like a reality to me. So I just need the regular season to start.
When I hear like I know it's a totally different offense, but when I hear Quan Alexander, CJ Mosley, I just think about like when Greg said like 4 years ago that's like a dynamic back. It just makes me think of like having like Patrick Willis and like I don't know Navarro Bowman or something like that, just like as or Aldon Smith. That kind of like if 4 years ago we had that's
it's just a typical Jets move. Like when we had Brett Favre, you're like, oh, get Ed Reed, like you're just Jason Taylor. You're like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be sick. It's like, nah, man. 30 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
Tomlinson.
We did get LT. Yeah, we got Ladainian Tomlinson.
We get everybody at the end. Bart Scott, even.
Hey, relax on the Mad Backer. Oh man, but let's talk about this last time. Let's talk about this tampering stuff, man, because they're divisional foes.
We have to. I don't know about the con man. We will.
I don't know if you guys saw this viral video of this guy in his car screaming today, just absolutely screaming about how he's upset how the Dolphins couldn't even tamper right. They'd even get the guy who they'd even have an interview with Tom Brady, but yet they lost their first round pick for something they tried to do and didn't even successfully. He was going off, absolutely off. I don't think it's Frank the Tank. No. I don't know who this guy is, but it was hilarious. This guy was going off on a rant, and I'll say this: if this happened to the Jets, I'd be probably in the same position.
I don't even want to think about it. If this happened to the New York Jets, I'm livid right now about this Tom Brady character that's supposedly the GOAT, the best, the angel, amazing. Let's eat his food. Let's wear his clothes. Let's praise him. Dude, this man.
Does anyone wear TB12 clothing outside of New England? That's a question.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Big golf line.
Really?
Big golf
Good
apparel.
Lord.
Dude, Lord. I'm telling you, this guy is the biggest con man that's ever walked the earth. It's insane.
Allegedly.
Dude, if I was a Dolphins fan losing my first and third round pick for this scumbag Tom Brady, oh my God, dude. Like, I have a question. And of course, I know Greg wants to go off about this as well, but I have a serious question. I understood a little bit why Patriots fans were Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans when Tom Brady went to Tampa. I understood it a little bit. And I guess now Tom Brady looking at it, he helped the Patriots going forward because he took away draft picks from the Dolphins. But I'm wondering if Patriots fans have to feel some type of way about this guy who was in training camp on the final year, right? Like their quote-unquote last dance, texting other girls, bro. Texting the Dolphins, yo. I can't believe that.
It has to change your whole relationship. It has to change everything.
I can't believe it, man.
I would assume so.
He's the worst.
Look, I'll say this.
He deserves to be in prison. He deserves to be in prison.
But hold on. I mean, we also got to talk about like the Dolphins. Like we have the whole Brian Flores, lawsuit going on right now, and we have to like Dolphins got what they kind of deserve. Like you're telling a head coach, hey, you got to tank, like purposely lose games. We're talking about, what was it? Russell Gage out here getting suspended for gambling. We're talking about team actually saying,
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, Calvin Ridley. Yeah. Talking about Calvin Ridley gambling on games, being suspended for a year. We're talking about a team that legit said to a head coach, lose. Like absolutely. Sure, it wasn't for money purposes.
It was a joke.
That's joke. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Joke.
That's literally what the ruling says. They said it was a joke. That's what they ruled.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Just say what it says.
Yeah, I know. It's can you imagine? I killed that guy. Oh, but it was a joke.
Yeah, he told me you confessed, but it was just joking that time. Yeah, but he's dead. Yeah, but I was just joking.
Yeah, he said I could hit him over the head. I told him.
It's a pure coincidence. Pure coincidence.
Do you think if they were like 6-2 instead of starting out 0-8, that it was a joke could play? Do you think that could like be a pass? Like if they were like really good and he was like,
sure.
Oh, I mean,
joking.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. If
like we were 6-2.
That's even harder. I mean, that's harder to prove. Like if you're winning, it's like, yeah.
I just don't think he would say that. I don't think he would make that joke.
Yeah.
Because it's not a joke. He's just like, we suck. Let's get this draft.
Bro, come on, man. Can we talk? Can we look? We're Knicks fans. We saw when the Knicks won 17 games with Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina at the helm and Manuel Mudiay. Like, you could go listen to Enes Kanter when he was on the Bill Simmons podcast. It was like, look, this team purposefully did not want to win. Yes, they fielded a roster. Internally, they all understood we ain't trying to win. We're trying to get Zion. All right.
That's Enes freedom of speech to you, bro.
Yeah, get it right.
No, you're right. Enes freedom. You're right. My apologies. I get his name right. But Enes freedom, right? He goes on to Bill Simmons and says that stuff. I'm like, teams do this stuff. This is not new. We saw the 76ers with Hinkie do it. How is it even a joke at this point? Like, you can't even say it's a joke. Teams legitimately do this to try to get who they want. I mean,
listen, speaking of the Knicks, I know that they're in tampering, and I would never want Jalen Brunson to get fined or anything happen to him if the Knicks were to be found guilty of tampering. But if I'm being objective about it, maybe that would stop players from actually tampering if it's not just the team, because they don't give a crap if the team pays a fine or loses a draft pick. Like, the players never seem to care. But in this case, dude, how can you allow this? How can you allow the head coach of another team on the Saints negotiate with the Dolphins while also a quarterback within the division negotiating with the Dolphins? That's insane. Like, they're playing each other at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Twice. 2
times. So like that, that's wild, man. I can't stand it. How like this finally goes to, because there's a lot of like nuances when people just say, "Oh, hey, how can this guy get this days of suspension and this of suspension?" and nobody's equating stuff. But in this case, the Ridley competition and the Tom Brady competition, like, this is a stain on competition for the NFL. Like, it kind of does fold in the same area. I know they said Tom Brady's nothing's going to happen to him. I get why, like, players don't get in trouble for tampering, but honestly, players should. This is crazy. I mean, people were upset about Kevin Durant going to the car after the game and talking with the Warriors or whatever. This is in training camp. Like, come on, dude. This is nuts. I know I hate Tom Brady already, but this is kind of wild, man. And he cost the Dolphins 2 draft
You're not far fetched, man. Because think about it. If you're
he ruined the Dolphins.
Think about it. If like you're a player and you know that you won't get penalized, but you could do something to penalize another team, like why not? Like why not? Why not? Yeah, you have like literally zero sum, man. Like zero sum.
I think to your point, Alex. I think if you're a Patriot fan, you're so delusional that you're like, that's what Tom was doing. Yeah. Tom knew that he couldn't get in trouble. Tom knew he was just trying to get the stupid Miami Dolphins to fall for it, and
trying
they fell for it.
Yeah, now the Dolphins. Yeah, exactly. That's
Tom just trying to win on the field, off the field. Tom just wins.
Congratulations, Patriots fans. You hurt all three. Belichick hurt the Jets. Brady now hurt the Dolphins.
Well, he helped us. He helped us in the process. Like, as New York Jets fans, like, we're hyped because now the Dolphins the Dolphins for the last couple of years have had 100 draft picks. I feel like, so they've been accumulating picks.
100 draft picks, 100 players. I mean, we can go up and down the list of like who they had.
Now they still don't have a quarterback, in my humble opinion.
The days of Ryan Tannehill and Mike Wallace.
Don't tell Tyreek Hill that though. Tyreek Hill thinks he's got the best quarterback.
Exactly. No, that's fine. I don't want to tell Tyreek Hill. Let him show me. Continue to think that. That's fine. The head coach talking about Yeezy Day today. I know he's making a joke. But like, the fact that he knows about Yeezy Day, like, I don't know. I just don't want that. Like, in my football head coach. Like, if Saleh was talking about Yeezy Day today, I would be giving you Adam Case eyes.
I'd be nervous.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, I know.
Can you imagine Adam Gase talking about Yeezy Day? Like, can you imagine?
No. So I'm very happy from a Jet standpoint, right? Because another notch on Brady's belt of him just being the worst person. Finally, people could start to see the light. What I was trying to tell you guys, right?
The light.
And on the second part of that, the Dolphins,
the Church of John.
The Dolphins are going to be worse, man. They're just going to be a worse team this year, and the worst team next year, and the worst team the year after, all because of this, fine, which is also pretty funny that they're suspending the owner.
That was going to be my last point. What a move by the NFL, suspending the owner through September, right? Or
What's
October?
That mean? You can't go to the meetings?
I don't know. They have owners meeting this week or next week, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't go.
Can't be around the facility, maybe?
Can't go to the game. Looks like I have to just stay at home in my mansion and watch this game on the big screen television.
That is kind of annoying, though. If I own the team and I'm not allowed to go, I get it, and I lose.
Is it? Dude, you gotta. If you're him, you're open in Miami. You got the nicest place. Probably got a boat. You go hang out on your yacht and go watch a game. You don't have to be there shaking hands and doing whatnot. You could go be home. I don't know. Maybe that's just because I like being home. I don't know. But that's just me.
Yeah, but you also don't own the Miami Dolphins.
I don't know if I want to own the Miami Dolphins.
Well, Tom Brady sure did. That loser.
Put him in prison. Loser. Let's end it on that. What a loser.
Like Elon Musk, he was trying to get the deal with Twitter. He had to put money in escrow, and it didn't go through. Now Twitter is suing Elon Musk. That's how it works. That's business. Not, oh yeah, my bad here. Oh, okay. You guys get all messed up. I'm good in Tampa Bay now. Like, it's in Florida too. You know what I mean? For us, it seems like so far away. NFC, AFC, like they're nothing to do with each other. But dude, like it's Tampa and Miami. It's like I don't know. It's a wild move. It's a wild move.
It's a plane ride, boat ride, maybe a train ride. I don't know.
He's a con man.
Yeah, he's the biggest scumbag going.
Prison.
Not this is not a Tom Brady stand podcast. This is whatever the opposite is. I don't even know what the opposite is. But we can.
It's a facts podcast.
Yeah, it's the Truth podcast.
Yeah.
The Truth Hurts podcast.
Yeah, the Truth Hurts podcast.
All right. Well, on that note, I think this is a good place to end. It's been a good time here. Thank you all for tuning in for the Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. You know what to do. If you appreciate this podcast, please make sure to subscribe. We're on all audio listening platforms. You can find us anywhere. You can also make sure to give us that 5-star rating if you listen to us on Apple or Spotify. And please make sure to leave a review or comment if you listen to us on Apple. Make sure to check us out on the Daily Knicks or the Jet Press. Make sure to find this YouTube channel, Knicks, Jets, etc. All right. Subscribe. When you watch a video, hit the like button, leave a comment. We want to know your thoughts and opinions on what you just watched. Check out Winning Picks Weekly, another podcast that's on this YouTube channel that's also partnered with Minute Media. You got John, video producer Greg, and our boy and co-host Chip Murphy. These guys go through every sport possible when it comes to giving sports betting odds. All right? Make sure to check them out. And then last and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. All right? And if you don't even know where those are, you can just check the bio of every podcast or every video that you watch. It's down below. So you can go find the links. The handles are there. The links to everything is there. So you can just click on that.
Timestamps are there.
Timestamps are there. We're doing it all. We're doing it all over here. We're slowly building something over here. But thank you all. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in for the Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. We out.
Let's go Jets. Put Brady in prison.